Welcome back to Yogaxpress, your virtual stretch clinic that helps you move the body to still the mind. My name is Banu Suresh. I'm your host for this program. Today's episode, we have Josiane Hurd, our director in the control room, assisted by Rebecca Swanson. Rebecca and Josiane, thank you so much for helping out when we needed you most. On the mat right here, we have someone who's training as crew but also has a multi-dimension to her as well. To my extreme right, we have Sarah Williams. Sarah is not only a new marathon runner, a tattoo holder, and what was you're also an independent filmmaker, correct?
Correct. I'm an independent filmmaker. An aspiring marathon holder.
You're aspiring to improve your own time.
Right.
And someday, hey, I better shake your hand before you get too famous.
Exactly.
To shake my hand later. Welcome back to the show,
Thank
Sarah.
you.
To my immediate left, I'm going to save our special guest for the last. To my immediate left, we have Lana Parr. Lana, you're an inspiration. Every time you come on the show, I feel there are a lot of people out there who feel inspired and feel yoga is not such an esoteric practice after all. Everyone can join in. So welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Anything you'd like to add? Or whenever you're ready, that's fine.
My stretches have been better today, until I don't take any notice of the chair.
Well, today we have a very special guest who's going to take you through a different kind of journey where you don't have to move physically, but we are going to find a kind of a mental elevation. Talking of special guests, that's right. First, I need to acknowledge our crew, our facilitator, Richard Swanson. Thank you so much, Richard, for the studio setup, the lights, and the sound system. Now for the big moment everyone's been waiting for. We gave you a little peek into what our special guest has been working on for the last, Asia, about 7 years?
7 years. Yeah, it's already 7 years.
In yogic cycles, we believe there's always a 7-year period. So you work, everything in our life happens in 7 years at a time. So maybe you have come to the peak of the last phase and you're into the next one. Asia Janina-Dyrkacz. Did I say your full name right?
Very good.
Okay.
Most people cannot mention my last name. Thank you.
Our guest details, the contact details and the websites are up there on the credits on the bottom left. They're probably going to stay there throughout the program. Josiane and Rebecca, if you can keep them up throughout the program, that would be great. Asia, what do you have planned for us today? That was a great introduction yesterday to meditation, but before you tell us what you have planned, tell us a quick recap of what you do and what you are actually hoping to convey to the public, to our viewers.
First, I just would like to say thank you very much for having me in the program,
pleasure.
Because you are part of my mission, which is change the stigma of addiction and mental illness. So I hope this program will help people to understand more this disease, and which is unfortunately very spread, in a society.
I'm trying to look as tall as you.
Thank you. Anyway. Right now I have a very emotional period in my life. It's because after practically 7 years of trying to help my son who is bipolar, I think I am able to finally to create something which can be helpful not only for my son but any person and any family who have similar problem.
Right.
I am creating fundraiser, which is a Holistic Super Health. It's a program which is based on Kundalini yoga and meditation, which I strongly believe and I practice almost every day. I think this technology is amazing, and really any person who have any kind of problems can heal themselves.
Right.
And the program is based on Kundalini, but also I would like to include massage, acupuncture, perhaps some specific diet, nutrition, and detox. Okay. And I would like to do the program in India because for many reasons, I've been in India 3 times, and I really think it's a very spiritual country and with spiritual energy.
You're not worried about the vaccines.
Absolutely. Just to actually give you an idea, like the bipolar disease, which America has the biggest percentage, is almost 4.4. Wow. In India, they only have 0.1. So I think that will be a great environment to create this program.
What is bipolar? Help me understand.
Bipolar I would say, is a more severe form of depression. Is a maniac depressive kind of disorder.
Now I understand.
and how it's, I mean, there are different types of bipolar,
Right.
and there are people who can manage their lives. There's a lot of people, celebrities with bipolar, politicians.
Right.
However, it depends, what stage and also was discovered, but also I think it has a lot to do also with the chemistry and of the brain, and perhaps also with healing process of the person. So most people who have bipolars, who have the bipolar, they have episodes. I call them episodes, which can appear sometimes a few times a year, and they have a different time. For some people can be a few days, for some people can be months, and very often those people have to be put in institutions because they just so depressed and they cannot function.
So you're talking about, I don't mean to interrupt, but I had to ask you. You're talking about bipolar being an aspect of depression.
Correct.
So sometimes when life gets too hectic, and maybe that's what it is in India, where probably many people in India are always scrambling just to survive, maybe you don't have time to think about getting depressed. Is that why the percentage is low? I'm wondering what, I understand the spirituality part of it.
Well, I mean, you have to, I think, most people who live in India and the people I met, they do have that background of yoga and meditation from generation to generation. So that's probably one thing. And this country, yes, it's right now, there is a tendency and more appreciation for the Eastern practices. And I mean, you can see this in the media that more and more scientists and doctors believe meditation and yoga is incredibly helpful. I mean, even President Clinton,
but it's still not giving us a chance to get insurance.
I think that will happen. Actually, that will be one of my missions too. And if you check my website, Independent, I have free petitions which I'm gonna start promote and to introduce the meditation in schools and also in recovery and also in prisons.
Fantastic.
Because I think
that is a great idea.
I think if we introduce the meditation yoga in schools, that will create a totally different society.
Right.
If they start this from the beginning, then then they become more balanced and perhaps more focus in life, yes, and because right now, we are living such a fast world. It's very difficult, to really find a peace of mind.
Right.
So meditation could be a tool when you are with yourself and you become more grounded, and you can have a moment of really detaching from everything around us.
Right. I love the idea. I love the theme, the concept, what you're trying to do right here. Those of you who'd like to donate to Asia's fundraiser, right there on the bottom left of the screen, you have all her contacts, her website. Stay in touch with Asia. You're going to give us a taste of the meditative process that you're developing right now.
I would like very much. Since I am
do some breathing as well.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes, since I'm addiction counselor, my focus is really to help people who have an addictive pattern, addictive behavior, perhaps some anxiety, because that's basically my niche.
What about being addicted to good health?
To good health? I think that's a great addiction.
On our program, we're sort of totally addicted to feeling good and happy.
I think is a great addiction.
That's a happy addiction.
Yes. Of course, you don't want to pretend you're always happy all the time, because that's unrealistic.
Of course.
But I would call this, if you have a positive mind in life, then that's great. You can overcome already a lot of things.
I can't wait. I'm looking forward. Whatever.
So I would just tell you a little bit about the meditation, perhaps, so you and the viewers can learn. Kundalini meditation is actually, and yoga, it's a very specific technique, because we call this the yoga of awareness, which is to get the higher conscious. And that means that when you really practice this meditation, you really somehow able to find yourself, heal yourself, and become more aware of, and that is a wonderful feeling, because suddenly you realize that the mistakes you make,
Right.
you watch yourself, you improve your relationship with whoever is in your life, become more peaceful. So there are only advantages. And what is important with this technique, I would say there are 3 components. One is the posture. It's very important when you meditate, have the spine very straight, because that helps the energy to go through your spine and
Right.
doesn't have any blocks. Also, we have a different focus when we meditate. The most common focus is in your third eye, which is the point between your eyebrows. So when you close your eyes, any meditation we do very often, we think about this point. And also the breathing. I mean, normally we use different kind of breathing, and which is, normally people think meditation is just to be silent and try to take the thoughts away, which is unrealistic because nobody can really do it.
Right.
So when we combine this with the breathing, when you focus on the breathing, or with the mantras, then you really don't think about anything else, and that is what brings you to that stage of meditation.
Just for viewers who don't know the word mantra, mantras are chanting. And remember, chanting doesn't have to be at the spiritual level. It's about clearing the mind of negative debris. Repetitive sounds help clear the mind of negative debris. So there are different kinds of, I would say, breathing. And normally we breathe, let's say, 15 times a minute. Right.
And the common breathing we use in meditation, Kundalini meditation, we call this fire breathing, which is 120, 150 times a
Right.
minute, which is really very powerful and really gives the oxygen to brain, and is very healing. So
I know
this
I'm
is
going to need my tissue for the fire breathing.
yeah, it's true. It clears up the dust. So this is what we can do. Maybe we can start just with simple breathing. The breathing exercise, it's very nice to start, let's say, 2 minutes, because that's really what affects the brain, and then maybe you can extend to 3-11.
Okay.
So, okay, sit
Sarah,
with us.
you may
Yeah.
need a tissue, my dear. You want to go get one?
Well, actually, we're not going to start with fire
okay.
breathing. We're going
Okay.
to start more simple. Let's just start just with close your eyes, okay? And put your hands on your knees with your palms up. And try to just relax. Observe your breathing. Feel if you have any tensions. Just remember that when we inhale and exhale, we do this through the nose. So why don't we do 3 simple breathing exercises? Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Keep your eyes closed. You should feel the energy going through your body. The next exercise is actually very helpful to break any habits you would like to break. And you can do this exercise for 2-3 minutes. So this is how it's gonna work. We're gonna inhale and try to count for 5 seconds. Then we keep the breath for 15 seconds and we exhale for next 5 seconds. Take a deep inhale and hold for 5 seconds. Hold the breath for 15 seconds. And exhale for 5 seconds. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Remember to focus on the third eye, which is the point between your eyebrows. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale.
Do you need any bulbs?
Feel the energy and relax. Okay, you can open your eyes. That was very
I
simple.
have to make an observation. I can't help it. My God, just holding still is so much tougher. It's so much more powerful than moving.
Yes.
And I mean, I never realized that just holding myself, my body so still actually can make me feel that elevation already. I already feel it. I already
Great,
feel
super,
it. It's
thank
great.
you.
So
Super.
that's meditation.
Yes,
That's-
well, I
that's
mean,
how
this
you
is
get into
this is the simplest one, but you know, it's
Wow.
only because your mind actually have to focus on the
Right.
counting, and you know that is actually the point that you take away, you know, from thinking about everything else.
Right.
Because when you just meditate, try to not think. It's very difficult.
It's difficult.
I mean, I also was in India a few years ago, and I tried Vipassana meditation, which is they call it
Oh yeah,
silent
Vipassana.
meditation.
1 week, isn't it?
I did 10 days, and that was actually one of the most difficult,
It's
probably
tough,
things I've done in my life. Yeah, but you know what? It was difficult because we meditate 10 hours a day, so I actually have a pain in my back. However, what is incredible about this meditation, and which is a very powerful tool, is that you know what you do, you basically scan your body. That's the part when it takes you away from thinking about everything else, and this is you do this constantly for 1 hour, and that really heals you, but also helps you to really become to yourself and be more grounded. So
moving. It's about channeling where the mind goes. And
well, you cannot split your mind. If you think about
Right.
one thing, it's very difficult. The same second thing about something else. So when you do the Vipassana meditation and you do the scanning through all your body, that's all what you do. I mean, I have the most amazing experiences when I really actually felt out of my body. I didn't feel my body. It was incredible and very healing. So that's why I like the Kundalini meditation, because it's very often combined with different mantras, different things we do to create that energy, and that becomes more powerful. I think really healing.
Are we doing some chants today?
Uh,
Or doing any movement?
we can actually, if you want, well, actually, I maybe
Whatever
the next
you have planned for us. We're excited.
I would like to show you another meditation, which is combined with breathing, and it's very good for somebody who have anxiety. Let's say you have a bad news, or suddenly you feel really anxiety, or appearance on TV.
Right.
So then you can do this, and it really will cool your emotions and helps you to become much more peaceful. Okay. So we do this. It's not long, but I show you so you can use this, in a situation in life you need. It's very simple. Sit straight with your spine. And this is what we do. We take a tongue and close our right nostrils. And what we cannot do very long breathe in and breathe out. 26 times, okay? As long as you can. So, okay, I can show you, maybe perhaps you can watch me how you do that. You close your eyes and you try to breathe in. This is something each of you have to do with yourself, with your own pace, because obviously for some people the breathing can be longer, for some can be less. But anyway, the idea is to extend this as far as long you can as an inhale.
Just inhale.
And then exhale.
Exhale.
And then exhale, yes. Just doing this, okay?
So-
And it has to be done 26 times.
Okay. So a
Okay.
quick recap. What you said in the beginning was most of us breathe for 15 seconds,
Oh,
4
yes.
times. So that's at 5.
So for 50 seconds, a minute.
Right.
A minute, yes.
15 seconds. So 4 breaths per minute.
You can
So
do that,
right
yeah.
now, so we inhale for how many? 5 seconds?
Well, actually, this exercise is you can,
Oh,
but,
our own
but you can do as long as you can.
Okay,
It's I call
done.
this long
All right.
breath. So
Got
I
it,
mean,
got
for
it.
some people can be
I
much
understand.
longer,
Right,
and somebody
okay.
who practices. For some, if you cannot hold, you don't want
Right,
to check. So that's why I said it's really individual, and each of you to try to do this as long. I'm not gonna count. I'm not gonna do anything.
We
Each of-
have about 4.5 minutes, so let's experience that. if
So
you-
okay, so we can. Well, I have one more exercise
Okay,
to
okay.
practice. So we can actually, do this. The idea is that at the same time, when you do the breathing, like I said, you try to do this 26 times.
26.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the idea. Okay.
What's the magic number? Why 26?
I mean, there are a lot of magic numbers in Kundalini Yoga, actually,
Okay,
meditation.
okay.
Yes, we can talk about the numbers
No
later.
problem.
Yeah, there's
All
many
right.
of them which the Kundalini Yoga actually is technology. So they have the specific time and numbers has a meaning.
Okay.
Okay. So sit straight with your spine and close your right nostril with your right tongue, and let's begin. So try to inhale as long as we can, and then exhale 26 times. when you finish the 26 times, you can just rest your hands on your knees with closed eyes and just absorb the energy and feel the energy in your body you just created.